My name is Marshall Atkinson, and I've been around in this industry for a little bit. I was working my master's degree in architecture in the early 90s, and I was doing everything by hand. How many people are artists, graphic designers here, right? Did everything by hand. This is before computers, right? Blue lines, rub down letters, that crap, okay? And so it would take days to do one design. Okay, and I was doing stuff for fraternities and sororities. You know how flaky those people are, and so they make lots of changes, and it was just a nightmare. And then the guy that was printing my shirts for me, because I contracted everything out, said, "Hey, this new thing just came out, and it's called a Mac. You should learn how to use this thing." And so my Christmas break, I went to, there was kind of a site owned by an ad agency. They had the Mac. I went there and learned Photoshop that just came out, and I learned this other program called Freehand, which kicked butt. It was before Illustrator. And so now instead of days, it took me 3-4 hours to do something, okay? So the reason why this matters, okay, is because I quit architecture school to become an art director. Okay, and then now I'm a business consultant, and I do stuff with workflow and cost optimization and all kinds of number-driven stuff. But at heart, I'm still an artist, right? And I do a lot of stuff. I have a company called Shirt Lab, which is a training company, and I do all the graphics for that, and I still do graphics. I still play around with things. And last year, I bumped into Midjourney. What is this thing? And I started playing with it, and it's like crack. You can't stop playing with it. And I've tried DALL-E 3 and all of them. I try them all, okay? And everybody's got opinions. My opinion is that Midjourney is the best, okay? And that's just my opinion. You might differ. It's okay. We'll have an argument. But, you know, so what is Midjourney, okay? So I think there's a lot of confusion out there about what Midjourney and these AI image generators are, okay? What it does, okay, is it starts off with random noise. Like, who remembers Poltergeist? Ever see that movie? Were you here? You know, little girl? It's static. It starts off with the static, just random noise, and it uses prompts to generate an image. So prompts are words. So as a designer, okay, we're used to using tools. We click the cursor, we click the square tool, the type tool to apply image. You know, we got all types of filters and all types of crazy things that we can do, and we know where all those buttons are, okay? But now your end result's based on your vocabulary. It's weird, it's awkward. It's not like, you know, it's just like you got dropped into outer space, and all of a sudden, you know, you got to eat bugs or something. It's just weird, right? So what's really great about it, though, is if you've learned the prompts and you learn the sequences and you learn what to do, you can create a lot of really fantastic images really quickly. As a designer, it allows you to get to the end result much faster, which is the most important thing. We're problem solvers, designers, we're problem solvers. We have a client, we have a thing, we got to design, whatever, it's a logo, it's a thing for a t-shirt, it's a DTF that we want to do, whatever it is, it's a problem that we want to solve, okay? And so what's really great about Midjourney is you can iterate and create lots of stuff quickly to really get to where you want to go faster, okay? And I'm going to show you a whole bunch of stuff today. Who currently here is actually using Midjourney or has tried it once or twice or whatever? Who's never heard of it ever, and they don't even know why they're sitting here? Okay, great. Okay, so what Midjourney is the ability to create images, and the image could be a logo, it can be a painting, it could be a picture of a sculpture, it could be 3D channel letters, it could be anything that you can imagine. Right? And if you look online on Facebook, there's a lot of Facebook groups about AI. People create like Marvel characters with big boobs, or they create a lot of really weird stuff, these nightmare images. And what happens if we have the the alien xenomorph with a pigtail and a unicorn head or whatever, they're crazy, okay? I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in how we can use this as a professional tool to create faster. That's what I'm all about, okay? And that's what's really fun about it, all right? And what Midjourney is not, and my T is missing on the thing because the slide's not big enough, so it's Midjourney is no, it's not correct. So what Midjourney is not is an image editor, right? So if you create a blue Camaro, it's not going to make it red. That's what Photoshop does. Thank you, Adrienne. See, I told you she's a badass. And so that's what Photoshop does. So who here has ever watched a football game in their life? Everybody, right? Because we're Americans. So let's pretend that you're the guy in the end zone on the kickoff and you catch the ball and you run all the way down to the 7-yard line. It's an amazing play. You just ran 93 yards down the field. The crowd goes crazy. The other team's fans they're really, oh my God, what happened? The game's about to change, okay? This is what Midjourney is. It allows you to get all the way down to the 7-yard line, but you haven't scored a touchdown yet. You still got to do something with it. You still got to add the client's logo or some words or do something with it. You got to separate it or whatever you're going to do. You still got to do something with it, but it allows you to get all the way down there with very little effort. Very little effort, okay? And that to me is the appeal, is because I can work less and get a better result. That's the important thing, okay? So Midjourney is not perfect. You know, William here was asking me, what about the thing with the 6 fingers? Who cares? Edit the finger out. If it's a good image, does it really matter? Now, Midjourney is improved. We're on version 6, and it kicks ass. Most of the time, it doesn't give 6 fingers. It only gives 4. No, I'm just kidding. So it's a lot of fun, right? And you'll see in a minute. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff. So these images I'm going to show you were all created in about 45 seconds or so. So these are all images. I want you to imagine these as a project for a client, okay? And, you know, you're doing a thing for the tiki bar down the street. That took a minute to do. A minute of my day was spent on that parrot. How about that? How about this? Okay? So what's really great about these is this doesn't take a lot of time to create. You got to do a logo for a company. How about an Air Jordan? How about some owls? You're doing stuff for a school and their owl's the mascot. How about a vet clinic that needs a cat and a dog as their logo, right? How about you do like a patriotic thing, but you want it kind of vintagey looking 3D? How about some embroidery? Bob Marley, you know, new movie coming out. When's that come out? Anybody know? I bet it's around the corner. Oh, it's already out? How about a background texture that looks like herringbone fabric? Ombre, that's the cool word there, ombre. How about a logo for a new sports team called the Gorillas? How about a stained glass window with a grizzly bear? Or a logo with just some M's? Or, you know, the angel with the AR-15. This is the angel of death.
That's pretty dope.
Okay? So, what I want you to think about here is we're thinking about using Midjourney, or really any, you know, you could use DALL-E 3 or whatever, it's the same thing. I want you to begin with the end in mind. What do you want? What do you want? That's the most important thing. What do we want? We can create anything. So what do you want? What is it supposed to look like? How are you going to be using it? What is it for? Is it a background pattern that you're going to put inside of something? Is it going to be the main image, like the angel with the rifle, right? What is it? How are you going to be printing it? What are you going to be doing it later? What if it gives you, like here on the edge, you know, it gives you this little stuff, right? Oh my God, I don't want that. I just want the thing. Well, you can erase that, okay? Let's not like go crazy about it's the perfect thing. It has to be the perfect thing. What I want to tell you is you can take this and edit it. Like maybe here's this and you know you really like it, but the client goes, hey, can we put something in there that's blue? Well, yeah, you can add that later. So let's just use this as a way to get to the 7-yard line, and then we can do whatever we got to do to make it perfect, okay? That's the strategy that I want you guys to remember when you're using these AI tools, is it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always edit and change it and make it good for what you're doing, okay? All right, so Midjourney uses prompts, which is another word for words, okay? So again, how good is your vocabulary, right? So when we think about, I want something minimalistic, meaning it's just very sparse, right? If I don't get a good result with minimalistic, can I use stark, Spartan, austere, simple, right? These could all have a different result for what we're trying to create. So, and because we can create a lot of images quickly and there's virtually no cost to it, right? Make a whole bunch of stuff. Try a bunch of stuff out. What works, what doesn't work. This is the reason why it's so much fun, is because it's like a puzzle trying to figure out what's the best thing, right? So here's some tips, right? So the beginning of the prompt sequence matters more. Typically, if I'm doing something, the subject is always the first thing that's in the prompt sequence. You know, it's a gorilla, it's an angel, it's a flower texture, whatever. That's the most important thing. I'm going to put it in the front, first thing. Midjourney can drive the car. You can just type gibberish in and you'll get a result. It doesn't matter. It's trying to figure out what you want. And how it works is that Midjourney uses all of the images on the internet, right? How many images do you think there are on the internet? 30. Yeah, there's an unimaginable amount. And image to text pairs, okay? So when you say blue or sky or horse or dragon or whatever, it tries to find an image with those things, and actually it's not just trying to find one image, it's probably looking at 10,000. I don't know how it works. It's like magic, okay? So, but that's how it works, and each prompt word is converted to a math formula. It's an algorithm, right? So some really nerdy person has invented this thing, and it's great, all right? I don't know how it works, and I don't care. The brownies taste good. Do we care how they're made? No. No more than 60 words. So a lot of people go, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to ChatGPT and have ChatGPT write this thing. And ChatGPT is going to give you this gigantic book of stuff. That's just, to me, it's just dumb. First off, you're not going to learn how to write the prompt. You need to do it yourself. Also, it's going to include a lot of words that don't really relate to the image. So you can't go more than 60 words. Anything you certainly can put them in there, but after 60 words, Midjourney just ignores it. Grammar doesn't matter much. You don't have to say an angel holding an AR-15. You just say angel. You don't. In fact, I could spell probably angel without the E, and it would still do an angel. Okay? It's weird like that. A thesaurus is your best friend. What's another word for whatever? Also, Mother Google knows everything. Right? What's a really cool term for German Renaissance silver point engraving? I don't know. Let's look it up. Put it in Google, and you'll get a whole library of stuff you can look. Oh, that's a cool word to use. It's great. Experiment a lot. I experiment every day, I've got my business cards and a postcard here that's got my newsletter stuff on it. My name is Marshall Atkinson. That's my Instagram tag or handle, whatever they call it. I post an Instagram experiment practically every day. Some days I don't because, the muse isn't there. But most days I do. I did a pig wearing a Hawaiian shirt skateboarding this morning, okay? That's just what I was goofing off with, right? So I experiment every day, and I'm using words that I've tried, okay? And William, before we started here, he was asking some questions. I showed him, I have a spreadsheet that I keep of words that I've tried, and I didn't know what the number was. I looked it up. I'm at 875 different prompt words I've tried, okay? And this is, I've been using Midjourney about a year. So this is me goofing around a lot. Okay? So if you sign up for Midjourney right now, I'm going to show you guys, you're going to be on Discord. I don't use Discord anymore because I'm like a power user. Midjourney has moved off of Discord and they have their own webpage now. But the describe function doesn't work in the new thing. For some reason, I'm sure they're going to add it because it's an alpha version. But on the Discord version, /describe is a really great way to do stuff with prompt mining. So you can upload a photo or a picture or something that you like, something you downloaded from the internet or something that you have in real life, or a photo of your kids in the backyard with the garden hose or whatever, and it will give you the prompts that it sees in that picture. And what's really interesting is the weirdo words it uses to describe the thing. And what's great about that is you can copy those and build your own spreadsheet, and now you've got your own vocabulary list of stuff that looks cool, okay? So that's a really great way to find some prompt words that work, right? So let's show you guys some stuff. So here's the prompts for that image, right? And they're different colors, so I want to explain that, right? So the first part is the subject, flying angel. Right? So this could be anything you're trying to describe, flying angel. And what is the angel doing? The angel is holding an AR-15 assault rifle, okay? It's black and white, which is the colors. I just want outline form, right? I wasn't looking for something like photorealistic or whatever, right? It's a woodcut style graphic, which is a printing term. So here, Google art terms, art techniques can get you a long way. And a block print is a style of printing, okay? So that's the prompt for that image, right? That's how I made it. Now when I made that, okay, I probably made about 40 of those. That's the one I liked, okay? And were they all perfect? No, some of them were horrible, okay? Who cares? Don't get caught up in that. Find the things that you like, and then that's what you're pushing forward, okay? And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. We're going to do a bunch of live stuff, right? Here's another one. Graphic logo, right? Based on a rotating or repeating letter M, minimalist style, icon, monochromatic, black on a flat white background, right? We're doing a logo. We want to be able to get it later and vectorize it or whatever, right? So we want to be able to grab it. So flat white background is fantastic for that. Solid white background's good, or solid black or whatever. That's a great thing to do. And that's that logo, right? Again, I made a whole bunch of these. Were they all interested in good? No, most of them were horrible. This is the one I liked. Would the client have liked it? I don't know. I'm just goofing off here. Maybe they would, maybe they won't. But you're getting things done, right? So here's what we're going to learn today. We're going to take something in Midjourney and we're going to put it in a shape and we're going to add a customer's logo to it. This is the easiest way to use Midjourney. You guys can make a gazillion dollars doing this. Untold fortune. All you got to do is do the work, right? Next is, we're going to take something in Midjourney and we're going to put it inside of a word right? So everybody here that's wearing a shirt with a DTF that's a solid word or a screen printed word, solid word, raise your hand. It's just a solid word, right? Right? Imagine if there was a texture or a pattern or something inside of that, it would look way more interesting. So the greatest thing about DTF is the fact that it has an unlimited color palette. So tomorrow, when your logo is only white, right, you're not taking advantage of the capabilities of what you're using, okay? So it doesn't have to be solid white. It could have little flecks in it or a little pattern or look like chrome or look, neon or whatever. You could do anything, okay? If that's your look, that's fine, but what else could you do that would sell more stuff, okay? It's just something to think about. Next is we're going to use Midjourney to create a logo, right? I'm just going to show you these three things, then we're going to do some live stuff. So I've got stuff prepared. The first one is the Midjourney plus a shape and a logo, right? So we begin with our customer logo, right? Everybody's got customers. You've got your customer logo. It's white on a dark background or dark on a white background. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? We're going to use that with something, and we're going to play around with it, right? We're going to pick a shape. It's a transfer, right? It's a circle, it's a square, it's a rectangle, it's a star, it's a whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Polygon, it's a crazy cloud shape, whatever, okay? And then we're going to create a texture, and then we're going to assemble it like a cake. You're baking. You just step, 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 done, okay? So here's what we're talking about. So here's my prompt. Small repeating hexagon pattern, that's the subject, metallic, chrome, reflective, brushed metal texture, inside a circular shape, scientific inspired, isolated, which means it's not going to have like a scene, okay, on a flat white background. Okay, now, again, I got a whole bunch of stuff. This is the one I liked, right? That looks kind of interesting. It's got at least bolts on it. It looks like almost like the drain in your sink or something. I don't know. I kind of liked it. If we have a shape, now when you're doing shapes, what I like to do is to do an outline around it. That's a color, black, white, yellow, whatever you want. Because when you paste the thing from Midjourney into it, that outline is going to define it. And we know because when we make our little shape, it's defined and it's perfect, okay? And then what we do is we put them together, right? Now imagine that on a hat or a left chest on a shirt or whatever. This whole project is like 2 minutes of work here, okay? 2 minutes, right? Now, I want you to think about using the power of Midjourney. You can create your own stock library of backgrounds that you like that are in alignment with your customers, who you are as a business, whatever, okay? And you can use Midjourney to do those. Now, how about floral, hibiscus flowers? What if we did digicamo? What if we did like concrete looking stuff? What if we did dragon scales? What if we did like bathroom tile texture? What if we did a fractal? What if we did a burlap bag? What if we did leopard skin? What if we did camouflage Lego pattern? What if we did mahogany wood grain? Now I want you to imagine you could have all of these textures with very little time invested, and you could take that same texture and put it inside of a shape for multiple of your clients. Okay? They're everywhere. They're all over the place. In fact, what's really cool about this is these patterns can be big, and you can just move the shape around inside of that, the pattern inside of that shape, and so the wood grain or the camo or the whatever it is looks different every single time because you're putting it inside of the shape. Okay? Does that make sense to you guys? How hard does that look? Pretty easy, right? Right now, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a word. Okay, so here's our prompt. Floral pattern, rich jewel tones, and I list some colors out. Maroon, royal, Kelly green, black. Then I use an art technique called scratchboard. Who even knows what that is? One guy, 2 people, great. So scratchboard starts off with a board, it's like cardboard, and it's completely black. And you take knives and you scrape away the black to leave a white area, okay? Right, that's what that means. Hand tinted colors, aqua tint print. So those are kind of photographic kind of things. You hand tinted, usually photography. Aqua tint is a print, right? It doesn't have to make sense. You could use photography terms with a print or a drawing. You can use, it doesn't matter. Midjourney is going to take that and kind of flavor wherever the results are with the thing, right? So here's the image, right? Which is this really elaborate looking thing that looks like your grandmother's pillow, probably. We're going to put it in a Word, right? Now we're going to jam it in there. Just that easy. And this is what I mean about if you're wearing a Word on your shirt, how come it doesn't look cooler? Okay? Sorry, DeMar.
You saying I'm not cool?
No, you are cool. You're cool because you're in the military. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
All right, so here's that bigger in case you're in the back, right? So let's say you've got, moms, right? And they like this kind of stuff, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be this one. Okay? Or how about this one? Because they're on vacation. They're going to Hawaii. Tiger mom on vacation, right? Or maybe this one for the team. They're all sitting in the stands wearing their Tiger Mom shirts, right? Or this one, right? You could jam whatever you want in there, okay? Now remember, the images that I'm creating here don't take hardly any time to make. So it's not like I had to, this is my favorite one, this one. It's not like I had to sit here and paint that tiger, right? How long do you think it would take to paint a tiger like that?
Oh, wow. A long time.
All right, well, you can do it in about a minute, So that's the reason why you guys should be paying attention to this stuff, right? All right, and by the way, I kind of like tigers. I use them all the time in Midjourney just to see what's going on. So Midjourney to create. So we're going to create a logo, and let's pretend you're doing something for a high school, and they want to update their logo because they're using the lame-ass Clemson tiger paw like everybody uses. Any Clemson fans in here? Good. All right, so here's a really long prompt. Okay, let's break it down. Tiger, headshot. What's headshot? Meaning I don't want the whole body, I just want the head. Okay, growling, angry. So that describes to Midjourney what the tiger looks like, right? Sport graphic logo. That's a style. We want it to look like, it's a sport graphic logo, not like a logo for the, Tiger Dentistry or something. High contrast, highly stylized, 3 colors. Now you're telling Midjourney, I don't want it to be an oil painting. I just want it to be a couple of colors because I'm looking for that, right? Minimalist, icon, bold, thick, black, round outlines. That's a great prompt, by the way. Thick, black, round outlines. Gives you some really amazing stuff. In the style of professional sport team logos. That prompt is awesome for this type of stuff because it will look just like your favorite sport team logo, okay? I'm not saying make it look like the Philadelphia Eagles version of the Tigers, okay? Just professional sport team logos is all you need. Isolated flat white background, okay? And here's what I'm going to show you. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, okay? I don't know which one you like the best. I think they're all pretty cool, right? But did it follow the prompt? Did it give me 6 fingers? No, because I didn't ask for hands. Midjourney, by the way, doesn't do hands holding things. If you really want something funny, type in professional golfer teeing off and look, and if you play golf, you're like, oh my God, that's horrible, right? Or I was trying to do lumberjack swinging an axe, right? The lumberjack looks great, but it's got the axe from the Viking era or something. It just doesn't understand things sometimes. So Midjourney, by the way, is a genius 4-year-old. That's how you should treat it, okay? It doesn't understand anything. And usually the problem is you just don't put the right words in. All right, so if you've got a minute, I have a newsletter. I've got some postcards here. You can subscribe to my newsletter or just do it from the QR code. And we're going to go live here in about 2 seconds, right? I'll give you two more seconds. Now, the newsletter is all about tips on doing professional creative work using Midjourney. All right, so we're going to go live, right? So this is the working without a net portion of my presentation. All right, so here's Midjourney, right? There's 2 types of Midjourney. If you guys were to sign up right now, this is the normal Midjourney. It's on Discord. Who here even knows what Discord is? It's for all the weirdo gamers usually, but so they started it on Discord because they wanted to build a community, and Discord is all about community, right? Now, if you do join Midjourney and get a Discord thing, I highly recommend you do your own server. So this is my server, right, that I have on Discord. And then, so this is something I did the describe command in. I like this image with this kind of 3D look, right? And here's what I found was this word right here, anaglyph effect. So when you go to the movies and you wear the 3D thing, but you take them off, it's got the sign and the red, and that's called an anaglyph or stereoscopic effect. I didn't know that word. I'm not that smart. It told me the word, and then I can create anaglyph effect. So this is what I was doing with it, right? Right, so I was just goofing around, right? Look how cool these are, right? So doesn't that look like a magazine cover? Who's got a project they want to give me what they're doing? Yeah, Mike.
I want to see if it can. I need a cartoon guy that's screen printing on a press so that I can.
That's going to be a tough one because it doesn't understand screen printing on a press, right? So we'll try it and see what we get, okay? But when you go to smaller things like screen printing manually on a press, it's going to have a hard time on that sometimes, but we're going to play with it and see what we get, okay? Thanks for the really hard thing first out of the gate.
I was planted here to say that to him.
Yeah. So we'll see what we get, okay? So hold on. Now I have to type, so I can't talk. Screen printer.
Well, when you start off with cartoon guy first, because he wants the guy.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try, because I want it to, well, that would be a good thought, but I want it to be printing, not some cartoon guy, drinking whiskey or something. Pulling holding a squeegee. The squeegee is going to get me a glass cleaner thing. Screen printing. Normally I use a keyboard, so screen printing, squeegee. I will do cartoon, comic style. We'll do bold, thick, black outlines. We'll do head cut, which is an awesome prompt. We'll do color pen sketch, which is an awesome prompt. And then here's the power move here. So the power move is --S with a curly bracket, and then you put in what level of creativity you want Midjourney to do. And you got to be exact here because, you're giving it instructions. So you don't want it to turn left when you want it to turn right. Cartoon, comic style, bold, thick, black outlines, head cut, color pen sketch, blah, 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 blah. Right? Now, we hit go, and we're going to create probably about 40 images, and it'll take probably about 45 seconds to a minute, depending on my internet connection here. Now, it's going to start off with stylized 0, which means that's the raw command, right? Raw command is exactly what I asked for. stylize 1,000 is, look at this guy, he's in the screen. And then as farther you go up with the number, the more stylized and creative it gets. And so what I like to do is I bust out a lot of stuff, right? And then what I like to do is start at the bottom one with this doofus, and then I roll up, right? And again, it doesn't know what screen printing is, right? But you got to appreciate the art. I mean, that looks pretty cool, right? And that one's maybe close, but not. That one looks kind of like you, Mike, with a haircut.
Touche.
See this, you know, look at this guy.
That was Aaron Rodgers. That last one
Well, see here, now this guy is using one of those poster presses with the big thing, right? And so what I do is I just go up. I think maybe this is, and this is, it's too weird for Midjourney to understand what screen printing is. It just doesn't understand it. Yeah, this one, Rob Lowe, look at that. Now Midjourney, it makes people look beautiful. So if you're looking for some normal looking person, you know.
Can you tell it to make them uglier?
Yeah, I've done that. That was a challenge I had one day was, let me just backtrack here. So I did random dude. What is it? Here it is. So I did all these, and the prompt was random guy, unattractive, normal, frumpish, standing on a street corner, asymmetrical facial features, unfiltered, subtle chiaroscuro, contemporary realist photography, and then I said no fashion model. And I posted this on my Instagram, and Brett Bowden, do you know that character? He posted, hey, Liam Gallagher put on some weight. So these are all the doofus people that I got, right? So, you know. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Did we get any screen printing? No. Let's just make it easy. Let's just do a comic guy, right? Is that cool? So
you got better results than I did, by the way. I mean, I had done that.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's do a power prompt at the beginning, and let's say a comic dad. Let's say a mouse, and we'll say a raccoon. And what are these things doing? They're going to be. Earlier I was skateboarding, so let's do surfing. Good one. Surfing.
The power prompt, like
brackets? Yeah. So the power prompt's curly brackets. So what it's going to do is it's going to make all of those, but it's going to do a whole bunch for the dad, a whole bunch for the mouse, a whole bunch for the raccoon, right? And then we're going to say shadow pop art, which is a great prompt. We're going to say sunny day. Hold on, we're going to happy. Because, you know, and then we're going to say, that's it, right? So we'll do it like that, we'll do that, and we'll do 0, 100. I always do this. Now, there's other things that can go faster, but Midjourney hasn't added these to alpha yet, so I can't use my power commands. All right. So we're making 24 images times 4. So what is that? 44 images that we're fixing to make here. And while it's working on that, let's make some other stuff. So let's do a floral background. Because we want to paste it inside a shape later. Tie-dye, right? Neon colors. And we'll say in the style of Flemish tapestry.
Mickey Mouse.
So So here's, here's our first result. This is style 0, right? Some of these are just kind of crappy, but some of these are pretty good. There you go. Look at that guy. He's a comic dad, right? With the kid and I didn't ask for the kid. Bonus. Does he know he has a kid? I wonder. Right? Look at that kid. Yeah, you're getting out of here. So some of these are really cool, right? So that's the surfing ones, right? And shadow pop art gives you this kind of, this is the style of that prompt, right? So if you like this kind of look, that's the prompt that you should use, right? I like it, I use it all the time, right? And it's got that kind of comic-y look, I don't know, it's kind of fun, right? Look, he's surfing, but he's got like a normal shirt on. Look at that guy. That guy loves a good margarita. All right, now here's our mouse. Now we got mouse surfing. Look, he got Mickey in there. Right? How about that one? Again, cowabunga, dude. Some of these are pretty good. What was our other animal we did? Or raccoon. Let's see how the raccoon came out. Look at that one. Why is he wearing a firefighter outfit?
Maybe we came to the convention.
Yeah. So, and I didn't ask for oil painting, I don't know what's up with that. Here's a raccoon. Look at that. This one's got rabies. So, you can get all kinds of crazy stuff, right? And I like that one a lot. So,
is there a way to take like a specific image and like tell it to alter?
yeah, that's called remix. So let's find one that we like, right? Let's like this one, right? So remix, you can remix subtle, remix strong, right? So let's add. What are we going to add to that? It's your idea.
Wearing a hat.
Huh?
Top hat.
A top hat. Okay. Wearing a top hat. Now, there's two ways I could do this. I'm choosing this method, but you could also, there's a way that you can just do one area and put a top hat on the raccoon. I'm choosing to do the remix.
You did top art. You did top art.
Oh, well, it's not going to know what that is. Top hat, thank you.
The kids on there.
So we'll see that where that comes, and that'll be generated in a minute. So I want to look at our floral patterns we made, right? Because let's pretend you're going to paste it inside the shape like we were doing, right? This is how you would make a shape, the pattern to put in the shape, right? So this is floral pattern, tie-dye, neon colors, in the shape of, in the style of Flemish tapestry, right? So let's imagine you took that and put it in a word, right? Wouldn't that be really interesting? Now you're printing DTF. You have an unlimited color palette, right? Why be boring? Why be normal? And it doesn't have to be lots of colors. It could be really subtle. It could be nude. It could be all pastels. It could be whatever, okay? By the way, Midjourney doesn't like blood, gore, nudity. There's some things that it just won't do. And they're also, I don't know if it started yet, but they won't let you do Biden or Trump because of the election. So thank God we don't have to look at that. But
Used to be able to.
yeah, I spent weeks doing Trump in jail, Trump being arrested, last year. So anyway.
Did Biden looking sad on the toilet?
Yeah. Whatever. All right, here you go. Here's your raccoon with the top hat. Right now, what it doesn't do is it doesn't put. It's not ever going to be the same image because remember, it starts off with random noise. It starts off with not the thing. It's not going to be an image editor. So if you wanted that image with the top hat, you would have to do that in Photoshop, right? So what I would suggest is knowing what you want, like, oh, I forgot to put the top hat on the raccoon, you just make a whole bunch of new images, right? In fact, if you like a certain look, like this one way is to do the power prompt sequence over, right? Which is the 0, 100 thing, right? We'll just do a couple. And then it'll remix all those with the thing, right? So,
Is there a cheat sheet for the syntax of what you're typing up there?
please subscribe to my newsletter. But yeah, so it's basically 4 W's and what is it? 4 W's and 1 S, right? So who, what, where, why, and then the style, right? And so what, like I showed you earlier, it's like, what do you want? What is it doing? What does it look like? How many colors? What style is the thing, right? And so if we like, and what I like about the, what I like about this is that it gives you tons of images that you can look and you can search stuff. Like, so I probably made tons of things. Let's just say firefighter, since we have firefighters here, right? So these are some firefighter images I made in Midjourney, right? But look how the amount of words I'm using to describe that, right? It's a lot, right? I do a lot of stuff with camo because camo's cool, right? Camo, right? So I do robots with camo, purple camo, neon camo, people wearing camo pants, camo hats. Like these, this is all Midjourney here of me designing the next trucker hat, right? That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? This is all Midjourney, right? I've done a lot of camo patterns. Also, you know, a great prompt that doesn't always work is a ghost mannequin. So if you want the style of somebody wearing something that where you can't, like, it looks 3D but it's not flat, that's a good one. For example, this, right? Look, these are all ghost mannequin, right? Well, it's so when you have a disc, when you have your Midjourney, when you have your Midjourney account, it's different levels. I pay for the top level because I'm going crazy with it. It starts off at like $10 a month, and it's based on your GPU time. So how much server time are you wanting from Midjourney? And then when that gets used up, you can buy more, and then you can see and gauge what level do I want to be playing in, right? So this is this version is going to give me a result, right? And instead of doing a row, it does it in a grid. Let's make it bigger so you can see, right? That's the prompt of the dog on the skateboard, right? It doesn't take a whole lot of time to do. It's just a different result. It works exactly the same. It's the same algorithm. It's just the aesthetic of the tool is different. Okay, if that makes sense. I like using the alpha, and you'll be there this year unless you're. I think they're at like you have to have like 4,000 images to be on alpha right now. Okay, which I've got way more than that. So if on the Discord version, let's say we like this one, we can upscale it. Right now, I have Trace Journey installed, right, which works with Discord. So I can right now I can click this button and vectorize that logo, right? So I don't have to take it into Illustrator and live trace it. This is not Midjourney. This is a separate thing that I bought that is installed on my Discord server. I can also upscale it or remove the background or do whatever, right? So if I was to vectorize it, it would be a vector version of that, right? Which is really great if you're doing a logo and you don't want to live trace it later. You can just do it right in there, right?
What is the vector plugin called?
Huh?
The vector plugin called?
It's called Trace Journey. And, you know, when you hit upscale, so by default, Midjourney gives you, hello? By default, Midjourney gives you a 72 DPI by 1024 by 1024 image. So as we all know, that's kind of lame. We want something that's going to be a little better, so you're going to want to upscale it. You can upscale it in Midjourney. It's slow, right? what I tend to do is just download the thing, and you can upscale it in a program called Gigapixel. Gigapixel's badass. And if you've got clients who send you that 65K crappy thing they made in Canva, this is a way that you can upscale it, because you just put it in the thing and it upscales it, and it'll be 72 DPI at 45 inches square or whatever, which you can resample to 300 easy. Okay? So, so anyway, any more questions?
So this is probably a stupid question. 'Cause you might-
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
Sometimes there are.
Okay. Except for this one.
Maybe. So like say I had a specific dog that I wanted to use. Say I wanted to use my own dog.
Yep.
And put it in that image.
Yep. Well, so you can upload your dog, right? You can save it as, this is college level Midjourney, but you could do something called an SREF, right? Which is you can upload a photo and use it as the basis of the prompt, and you can do some things like, I have on YouTube, we have a YouTube channel, and there's a video on that. Let me pull that up. Your channel. This one, creating self-portraits. So my thing is called Midjourney Experience. Just go here, and then Lyra is my VA. She does a lot of work for me. She helps me with my newsletter. So she uploaded I'll just show you here. She uploaded her a selfie, which could be your dog, right? Pretend that's your picture of your dog, right? And then she used prompts, and she made herself wearing armor. She's a painting, this is all unedited. She just shows you what she's doing. Like here's the painting, right? And then she did one where she's like a AI robot, right? That's the AI robot. And what's it end with? Well, it ends with her as a, as a sunset, right? So these all look similar to her. Again, it's very similar, but is it really her? Not, right? So this version, it's only going to get better, okay? But your dog might have a certain little spot or whatever, okay? So if you get something that's really close in Photoshop, add the spot, right? That's what I'm telling you. Like don't worry about is it exactly perfect. Like maybe this looks just like Lyra, but it forgot the freckle by her nose. We can just go and add the freckle and we're done, right? And so it's really good for that. It's not perfect, but remember, we're just getting to the 7-yard line. We're going to do some stuff and we're going to make it great, right? And we can do all types of stuff with logos, just different whatever things. Let's just use isolated because that tends to work. We're looking stuff up. So here are logo designs that I've done, right? Just imagine me work. This is just interlocking ZB. First it doesn't give you good stuff, but then it does, and you keep playing with it. How about we're doing sticker dog heads? Let's say you're doing something for a preschool. That looks like a whole bunch of DTFs to me, right? So.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, man.
Can you just talk about the copyrights? Because you're talking about logos.
Yeah. So you can't copyright anything made from Midjourney because it's not a human being creating it. Okay. So the laws that we have for AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E 3, all this stuff are not in alignment with our regulations and our laws and our copyright and our intellectual property. You're going to create something, and I'm a T-shirt designer. I've had people rip me off before. Taking that person to court's $100,000 easy, right? You got that cash? Are you really going to take them to court? If the answer is no, then don't worry about the copyright, right? right? But if you're doing something for a company and you're making a logo, okay, here's what you got to do is you have to take what it designs and change it a little bit, and now it's yours. I also use Midjourney on a higher level, which is called stealth mode, which means that nobody can see what I'm doing because I'm the stealth bomber designer, you know? And, but when you're doing stuff, everybody can see what you're doing. You're completely naked designing. Anybody can take this stuff, okay? But here's what, you know, if I did this prompt, okay, I'm not getting that image ever because it never repeats because it's based on random noise. Right? So, but if you get a result that you like and you're worried about copyright, you're worried about intellectual property infringement, right? That's a huge concern that there is no answer currently, sorry. You know, I wouldn't worry about it unless you're Nike or Disney or somebody, you know. Now, I will tell you that people, you can, I was doing this the other day. Somebody asked me, hey, will it do Mario? Of course it will, right? It'll do anything it finds on the internet, right? But here's my response to that is, there's people who go out and steal things off the internet already, right? Is that you? Then this just allows you to steal people's ideas faster, okay? If you've got some ethics, you're not going to be doing this anyway, okay? So who here is ethical, okay? Me, like I'm not going to do that. I did this just to show. I did this just to show somebody, you know? So that was on the Ink Pod podcast, if you guys watch that, yeah.
So with this style of design, the ones I've shown, how do you remove that block border and kind of make it like?
Well, remember, begin with the end in mind, right? So we don't want the scene of Mario, right? So the word to use is isolated. Okay? Did I spell it right? So the word to use is isolated, right? So we can just take the thing. It's easy to click that and get the corgi thing, right? Now, if I was using this, right, that looks like a DTF, right? As a designer, what really bothers me is the fact that the corgi is not lined up where I would want to put it, the word, right? But how much effort would it take me to go slide over a little bit? Okay, not a whole lot. Okay, I could do that a couple minutes, done. Okay, and then it's got this little shadow behind it. You just erase that. Okay. I made a lot of corgis one day, right? And then like you can do 3D stuff. Like playing around with 3D effects with the word 3D, right? I like this one because let's say I wanted to use this, right? Look how like the reflection doesn't touch. That's really great for me because I can just clip that out. Okay, again, we're only going to the 7-yard line. Is it perfect? No, I just wanted 3D. I didn't want the reflection. You look at my prompt, doesn't say reflection. Okay, who cares? Let's just use the thing that we want. Okay, what else we got here? This is with the isolated. I use that a lot, right? Here's somebody. This is they wanted the Rosetta Riveter, right? And they wanted the word rivet on it, right? And Midjourney doesn't do type well. It's still trying to figure it out, right? But this looks like Rosetta Riveter if she lived in Moscow. You know, so, you know, it's all about the prompts you put in. Somebody challenged me the other day, I can't do a mermaid. There's some mermaids, right? Did I get a lot of mermaids that didn't work? Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, a million of them. Some of them are horrible. You know, where's one that's really bad? Doesn't matter. Some of them look like, you know, look at that. That's just gross, you know? So, but I asked for that because I asked for here's what I asked for. My prompt is tattoo-inspired graphic design. I guess there's a lot of sailors that got some really ugly tattoos because that's where it started from. But I was doing some 57 Chevys the other day, right? Imagine that on the back of the shirt for the car club. Okay, again, so look at my, I said 57 Chevy, hot rod, gasser style, street rod, drag racer, circular design, see the thing is kind of a circle, t-shirt graphic style, which is a good prompt, bold colors, isolated on a solid black background. Okay? And look, I made a lot of cars that day, you know? Here's like style 0 of that. You know, some of these have flames and stuff. Some of them are pretty awful though. So you gotta work it. Like, you know, let's say we wanted to do an eagle logo, right? Just like that tiger. So, I don't know, it's kind of fun, you know, you just gotta play around. All these have isolated. I wanted the word tiger with the tiger skin. And here's a tip if you're doing words. So if you're doing a word that's more than like 2 or 3 letters, you want to have a horizontal look to it. That's called the aspect ratio. So that would be AR, and then a ratio, like here it's 2 to 1, 2:1. And that gives you, it's 2 times the horizontal to 1 time up, right? And so if you don't give Midjourney enough room to breathe, it tries to cram everything together, and then it just doesn't work, okay? All right, any questions?
I have a question. You like tacos? 3.
I like tacos. Hey, Jay. Do I have any taco images for Jay? There you go, Jay, just for you. He's even here. He left.
I'm here.
I made this just for you, Jay. Yeah, this is a carne asada taco.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, hey, well, thank you, everybody. Hey, if you want to learn more about Midjourney, get my newsletter. There's a card right there. My business cards are right here. Happy to talk to you guys. I help people with this all the time. So appreciate you. Bye. Thank you. Thank you.